Hi, I'm Dawn, and this is where Shabby meets Bling.
This is Thrifted Finds and Flips, where we thrift it, then we flip it. I would like to thank my co-host Monica from Up All Night DIY. You're going to find the links to her channel and this playlist in my description box below. Oh, while I was thrifting at my local Goodwill, I stumbled across a couple of the iron serving pieces from a Longaberger. Yeah, and if you know me, you know I not only collect Longaberger, but I flip baskets if they are not in the right kind of shape. If you know what I'm saying, if they need a little help, I give them some help. But for sure, for $2.99 each, I am going to grab both of these pieces. Now let's see what else I can find. I found pottery. Oh my gosh, look at this dinnerware. Vintage. Made in the USA. Isn't it gorgeous? Oh my gosh, I wanted it so bad, you guys. I wanted it so bad, but I couldn't justify it because I don't have room. And these colors really aren't my colors, but it is really, really pretty. So I swayed a friend that I had run into to purchase the entire set. She picked it up for less than $12 because it was pink tag week. Oh my gosh. It is worth some money, it's gorgeous, and she got it at a great deal. So I feel I did a good deed. But you know I did not walk away empty-handed. Look what I found, another piece to my set. And it was only 99 cents. So of course, I picked it up. What I really need for this set are more glasses. So I know at some point I will stumble across them and be totally thrilled when I find them. And look at these. These also match something I've started to collect. Portuguese pottery. I currently have a pitcher and a bowl, but after today, I have 3 little salad plates that go along with them. These are Maholica, or as some people pronounce it, Majolica. This particular set has a geranium leaf pattern and is a rare find, and they only cost me $1.99 each. So I'm super happy that I found them.
This is my score from last week when I thrifted that little craft aisle in my favorite resale shop. You can see all the goodies I got. A quarter. These awesome cutters for $2, and I tried them out in the store and they work. Little stamp, 50 cents. Pretty glitter, $1. 2 packages of pom-poms, a quarter. This trim, 3 packages for $1. A full bottle. It's open, but it's full, 50 cents of my fabulous dimensional paint. And all the ribbon. See all the ribbon? Look at that ribbon. All of the ribbon matters not what size it is or what color it is or what shape or design. A quarter. All ribbon. A quarter. Go figure. You snatch it up. Isn't that neat? I have a room that has kind of a nautical situation happening, so I might do something in there. And you know how I feel about styrofoam balls. 2 packages for a quarter each. Not too darn shabby, huh? Yeah, good score. Good score.
But this is a thrifting and flipping video. So let's take a look at what I'm gonna flip. See this little doll? I picked her up in my favorite resale shop for $1, and she's gross. I mean, out and out. She's dirty, she smells, and she's a little creepy. Okay? Yeah. Well, we are going to take this little doll and we are going to totally transform her. You will never know that this thing started out as a stinky, smelly, creepy little doll. So first thing I need to do is take off her little costume. I don't know, she was trying to be a bunny rabbit. You know, it didn't make her any cuter. Just didn't. Next thing I'm going to do, oh, look at there. Look at there. Surprise! A pair of glasses. They look like the ones that I have for Blue. So now he's got 2 pair. Yay! I'm going to do something that might disturb you. So if you have any issues about a doll being shaved, look away, shield your eyes, because that's what's happening. I am going to shave her hair off. And because a lot of people still make dolls and use doll hair, because I see it in the thrift shops all the time, I see it in the craft shops all the time. So I'm going to bag up the hair after it's removed, and I'm going to redonate it because somebody out there may wish to have it. Once I have all of her hair removed, I will move on to the next step. Now that little Dolly has had the entire G.I. Jane treatment, if you know what I'm saying, it's time to make sure I can make her bendable, positionable. That's a better way to say it. She needs to be in a certain position for what I'm going to do to her. And once I start doing what I'm going to do to her, she won't be able to move. So she needs to have an internal armature. I've already turned her head gently to the right because that's the position I need her to be in. And now I'm going to use some of my scaffolding wire and put it down through each arm and through her legs. So that way I can bend her arms and I can bend her legs so she'll look like she's sitting. I have already cut a little slit up the back of her body covering to give me access to the internal parts of her arms and legs. And now I am bending the ends of my wire because this stuff is pretty sharp. And I don't want it poking through anywhere that it shouldn't. So I'm just kind of curving the edges so they're blunt. And then I'm going to double up my wire so each arm and leg have extra stability. Then I will run those wires down through those cavities. Here's what she looks like. Some kind of weird insect bug creature, and we can't have that. She's not going to be an insect. I don't think I mentioned what she is going to be. She's going to be a kitty cat. She is going to be a vintage-inspired papier-mâché Halloween black kitty cat. Yeah. Do you see it? Probably not yet. But we'll get there. I promise we will get there. What I'm doing now is getting rid of those wires that are poking out because we don't need them. I am pushing them up into her body as far as I can. Wire from one arm is going through the other arm and so on. I'm also making sure one last time that she is bent into the position I need her to be in. Now I am taking packing paper and tucking it into the different cavities of her body to make her more firm and less soft. That way she will be easier to work with. Now it's time to start getting that papier-mâché look that I'm after. I am using that same packing paper cut in strips, and I'm going to seal away the hole that I created to accommodate that wire. All of the fabric parts of her body will be covered in this paper. I will also be using some of my paper towels in this process as well. So between the paper towels and the paper, the brown packing paper, her entire body will eventually be completely covered. Well, everything will be covered except her eyes and her ears. Get ready, because if you thought the shaving of the head was shocking, wait till you see what's coming next. No kitty cat has ears on the side of its head, so these ears, they've just got to go. They've just got to go. I am using my handy dandy knife to simply saw them off, because they got to go. The plastic this thing is made from is way too thick to burn them off with my little heat knife. So I am just going to take a moment and just cut them off. Once both ears are removed, I will fill the crevice that is her head, that big hollow head, with some more packing paper. That way, when I glue something on the outside, it will have something on the inside to adhere to. Now it's time to get her head to look like it's made from papier-mâché. I will be using that packing paper torn apart so it has rough edges to not only cover the hole where her ear was, but that stubbly head as well. When I shaved her head, of course I couldn't get down to the little, I'm gonna call it her scalp, okay? I couldn't get all the way down to the scalp, so it left a little tiny, let's say like a 5 o'clock shadow. So it's taking some extra Mod Podge to hold that paper into place over the stubble. Once I get her entire head completely covered, I'm gonna set her aside to dry really, really well. Since she no longer has ears, and all cats need ears, I need to make her some new ones. I have cut a couple pieces of wire and I have bent them into a little ear shape, a little triangle basically, and now I'm going to attach them to the top of her tiny little head. I have one hole marked and drilled already. I place my little wire inside to try to determine where I want to put my second hole. Once I have determined that, I grab my little marker and I make a dot. And then I drill my second hole. I check to make sure I like the placement of the ear, and then I repeat the entire process for her other ear. This is very, very similar to the way I created the ears for my kitty cat in this video. I'll leave the link in the description box if you want to check that out. Once I have both of my ears, or at least the wire part of my ears in place, I need to fill in the void spaces that is left by the wire. And to fill in that void, that gap, I will be using cardboard. I trace the outside of the wire ear onto my scrap cardboard. And at this point, I'm going to glue those little wire ears into place, and I'll be doing that with hot glue. Once they are in place, I go back to the cardboard. I will cut the first cardboard ear out, and then I will flip it over and make a mirror image of it, one for the front, one for the back, with the brown part of the cardboard facing out. Then I make a smaller version of this to fit in between, sandwiching the 3 pieces together to fill that gap. These 3 pieces will get glued into place with hot glue, just like the wire part of the ears. Kitty cat needs a tail if she's gonna be a kitty cat. I am using a wire stem from a previous floral project to make her tail. I bend it into the shape I want, and then I will cut it to size. Blue is my model right now. He is helping me get the size and the direction of the curl just right. He's so helpful. I should stick those glasses back on him. He looks so cute with those glasses on. Now to make it look like a tail, I am using some torn up pieces of paper towel and Mod Podge to layer this tail many times over to give it some dimension. It can't be just a stick, a curved stick. That doesn't look like a tail, does it? So I will be layering piece after piece after piece, letting it dry in between, and then coming back and adding more. I start at the tip of the tail and I work my way all the way down to the base of the tail, leaving a couple of inches so I can glue it inside the cat's body. But before I can attach the tail, it's going to have to dry for a very long time. Now to fill the gap in between those pieces of cardboard on her ears, I will be using one time to do this. I will simply take the one time and push it down in between the 2 pieces of cardboard until it meets the wire. Then I will wipe it smooth with my finger. This will create a nice flat surface, because remember, I still have to add my papier-mâché to the top of this. I will be using paper towels for her ears. Now I am going to attach a wire, a nice sturdy wire, to her underside. I'm going to drill a hole up through the bottom of my cat so I can glue the wire inside. I will also attach her tail in the exact same way. I will find the spot where I want to put her tail. I will drill the hole, and then I will hot glue the tail inside. I will use a lot of hot glue because I don't want these items to ever move. Now it's time for more paper towel, papier-mâché. That is ripped up pieces of paper towel and a Mod Podge. I am using so much Podge, I'm probably gonna have to buy a new jug. Juggle Podge. Once I get the back of my little cat totally completed, I'm going to work on her nose and that mouth. There's something wrong with her mouth. It is very much not cat-like. I'll be starting with the nose. Once again, I'm using one time. Actually, I have to use it multiple times because I had the nose exactly the way I wanted it, and as I was painting her, I put the brush handle right across the bridge of her nose, and oh my gosh, I was not a happy girl. What I'm doing here is just using one time almost like a clay, and I am molding it and shaping it to look more like the bridge of a kitty cat nose. Once I complete her nose, I instantly begin to paint, thinking I can avoid the nose while it dries. I was wrong. Here she is, and I think she's looking pretty cat-like at this point, and I'm real happy with the nose. Too bad I have to redo it. Oh well. You know what happens, and it happened, but that's okay. Now I am painting her, and I'm giving her a really nice coat of my flat black exterior lucite house paint. Goes such a long way, and it's a pretty color. It's not like black, it's kind of a dark gray black. You'll see when it dries. It's really gorgeous. I give her a nice coat, and then I'm going to work on her eyes. At this point, I'm not really sure what I want her eyes to look like. I don't know if I'm going to leave any whites showing on the edges or not, but I thought painting them out white would be a good start. And it will also give me a blank slate, and it will allow me to visualize the way I want her eyes to look. The paint I am using is a Crafter's Collection white, and it is by Hobby Lobby. And yes, this is nose number 2. Now for that mouth that I talked about earlier, and how I don't think it looks like a cat at all. It doesn't. Of course it doesn't. It's a doll that's made to look like a little girl. So I feel the lower lip needs to go. So just like I did with the ears, I took my knife and I cut off the lower lip. You can see I did try to change the shape of it with a little bit of my paper towel and Mod Podge, but I was not happy with the direction it was going, so I figured this is the solution. Once I get that lower lip off, I'm going to reconstruct the mouth and little tiny cheeks next to the nose and mouth with one time. This does take me quite a while to get it the way I want it, but once I do get it where I want it, I'm going to set it aside to dry. I am not going to mess it up a second time. Here she is. The one time has dried, and I already put one layer of the paper towel Mod Podge over top. You can see I've also built up her little knees and her elbow, and I've added more to her tail. Once this is completely dry, I'm going to give everything, every bit of her, a really good coat of black. Then I'll be able to see what areas I need to retouch. Here she is, almost totally black. I have a few areas here and there I still need to hit, and of course I need to put a nice, really thick second coat on everything. But right now I'm working on her eyes. I have decided I'm not letting any white show at all, and I've already given the eyes one coat of Decor Americana Salted Caramel. This is the second coat. You will also note that I built up her eyebrows a little bit more and the tufts of her ears. Where those eyebrows are, you could still see the ridge of that hairline where I shaved her head earlier, and we don't want to see that. No cat has that. If it does, it's got a serious problem, and I can't help it. Once I get this coat of paint on, I'm going to set her aside and let her dry thoroughly. And while she's drying thoroughly, I'm going to work on her whiskers. You've all seen me make whiskers before, but I've never made them in black. Nope, that's different. I was looking at my cat Friday, and his little whiskers are black. They're not white. I mean, it would look cute white as well, but I think it will give it more of a vintage look if I go with the black. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting little pieces of embroidery floss, and I am going to give them the Podge treatment. And when I say the Podge treatment, what I mean is I'm going to coat them with Mod Podge. Once I coat a length of embroidery floss with the Mod Podge, I will peel them apart. Embroidery floss is made up of 6 strands, and I'm just going to divide it in half, 3 and 3. Then I will hit it with the Mod Podge one more time, and then lay it aside here on my parchment paper to dry. Once all my whiskers are totally dry, I will be drilling holes into my little kitty cat's face to create little cavities for my whiskers, just like I did her little ears. I will glue them in place with Aleene's clear gel tacky glue because it is paintable. That way I can come back once that glue has dried and I can paint out her little freckle areas where her whiskers are attached. I can even paint the whiskers black to match the rest of my kitty. But before I put her whiskers on, I need to finish painting her eyes and the rest of her body. It's time to add some life to those eyes, some colored specks and flecks. I'm going to be using 2 different colors to do this. The color I'm using first is a Folk Art matte paint by Plaid, and the color is a cinnamon. I am making little tiny lines starting from the exterior of her eye and just making little dashes towards the center. As well as those lines, I'll be making teeny tiny itty bitty little dots. I know this is difficult to see because all of the colors I'm using are very similar, just like it would be in a real eye, just slight variations in color. But once it's totally dry and once I have that Mod Podge over top, you will definitely be able to see them. You may notice the white blob on the end of her nose. Well, I came back and I built it up just a little bit more. I didn't feel it was quite cat-like enough, so I added a little bit more one time to the end of her nose. Now, once I'm completely through with the cinnamon paint, I'm going to change it up and I'm going to go a little bit lighter with a Folk Art matte paint by Plaid in the color of ochre. Once I've finished with the ochre, I will come back once it's completely dry and I will add a couple of coats of matte Mod Podge just over her eyes. Once her eyes are completely dry, I'm going to come back, drill my holes, add my whiskers, and paint the entire cat one last time with that black latex house paint. My kitty cat will get one and only one embellishment, and that is going to be a decorative collar. I will be using this eyelash yarn, as well as these beautiful ribbons and some rickrack. That's it. That will be her only embellishment.
My project is complete. Let's take a look.
Just a little reminder of where we started with this creepy, stinky, dirty, old thrifted doll. And now she looks like this. I would like to introduce to you Gwen Purrington. If someone told you she used to be an old doll, would you believe them? Let's take a look at them. A before and after, side by side. Here's our sweet little Gwen, and here is what she used to be. She's looking over there going, that wasn't me, that wasn't me. I had a makeover. I am really happy with the way little Gwen came out. She is in the round. Her entire body has been completed. You can see from the back of her head all the way down to where her tail attaches that she is viewable from all sides. Here's a good look at her paws. No longer hands. Definitely paws. Gwen says that she feels purty. Yeah, purty. She's all dressed up with that beautiful collar, and she's ready to go trick-or-treating with her bestie, Trina Von Trickster. You may think, oh, I just plunked her on a little pumpkin planter. But this is not her final resting spot. There are plans for little Gwen. There are big plans for little Gwen, so stay tuned. But the first thing on her schedule is to meet up with Trina. Gwen and Trina are such good friends that they decided to coordinate this Halloween. I love using pinks and oranges together for Halloween. That's why I added those colors into Gwen's collar so she would coordinate beautifully with Trina. This has been Thrifted Finds and Flips, where we thrift it, then we flip it. Thanks again to Monica for joining me tonight. You're going to find the links to her channel and this playlist in my description box below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, and share. Share it with someone that you think might enjoy it as well. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Make sure to ring the bell for notifications of all my upcoming videos. And don't forget to subscribe. You know you wanna, and all you need to do is click that button. You may also want to think about joining. Members get special perks each month. But for now, this is Dawn with Shabby Meets Bling. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you next time.